make the kernel and compiler, and we're going to prove that it's 100% open source. So, first of all, there's nothing in my downloads directory. Now we're going to go to my website. So, first of all, we're going to go to my website, download operating system, and I'm going to get the 1.64 meg. That's meg. 1.64 meg, ultra small red C. Okay, so I just downloaded 1.7 meg ultra small red C. Now I go to VMware and I go new virtual machine, typical, and I'm going to select the ISO file in my downloads directory, ultra small red C ISO 1.6 meg, other 64-bit, 8 gig, customize hardware. I'm gonna, it has PC speaker. I'm going to get rid of the sound. I'm going to get rid of the network. This is to prove that it doesn't download anything. I'm going to give it I have 16 processors, and I'm going to give it 55 gig. 50, or why not 60 gig? Oh well, 50. 61 gig. So I custom, okay, finish. Takes a while with so much memory. It's booting the ISO file like a CD. Install onto hard disk, yes. Are you in VMware? Yes. Hit a key. So it's copying onto the C drive. And then it's going to copy onto the D drive. The D drive is your backup in case you. I keep it mirrored. Okay, reboot. Yes. Okay, this is my bootloader. We're going to boot the C drive. This is the master. Okay, so Control M, and we have a flight simulator. This is a 1.6 gig, and we have a flight simulator. 1.6 gig, and we still have room for the Eagle flight simulator with Oats. So 1.6 gig. Is this amazing or what? So let's do find file, starting at root, star, bin, star. These are the binary files. We're going to delete them all just to prove. So Control D we're going to delete kernel bin, delete master bootloader parts. I don't use the gap in the first 31 sectors. I put it in the main file system area instead of the gap. Old master boot record, it will chain load, so if you install on top of grub, it can still load grub. I'm going to delete kernel.bin out of the root directory, and I'm going to delete compiler.bin out of the compiler directory. So I've deleted all the binary files. I'm going to do a find file. No more binaries. Okay, now we're going to do a make all. So boot hard disk install. This is let's look at this code real quick. What this does, here's a make all that compiles the kernel and compiler. What this boot does is it does a make all, and then it moves the kernel to the right location, and then this finds the kernel directory entry and it patches the boot sector with the block address of the kernel. Okay, so the boot sector gets patched with the block address of the kernel, and it has to be a contiguous file. If with my kernel, if you end it with .c, it's contiguous. Okay, so we're gonna okay, now this does some kernel configuring. Okay, boot drive C. Okay, you have to mount your disks, and you put into the kernel your disks, your disk mounts. So we're going to mount drive C, probe, and we want we can just print 1. Okay, so we're mounting the hard disk. Now disk cache, hit enter, and then options, we don't want any options, hit enter. Okay, now what we have just done is find file /* bin *. Okay, we just remade the kernel and compiler. The other ones are just, the other binaries were, oh, we better install the master boot. Okay, so how do I do that? I renamed it. Did I say MHD? And you tell it which one has the okay, so now when we do a find file, okay, it put stage 2, it doesn't use the gap, and it put the old master boot record and then installed a master boot loader. Now we reboot and press number C, and look at that, we still have the kernel, it still boots. And here's the okay, now you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make, let's modify the kernel. So let's go Control D. Let's go to the kernel directory, kernel end, and let's right before it loads the compiler, let's beep. So we're going to modify the kernel just to prove that this is 100% open source. So remember, this is 1.6 gig with all the source code. So let's do boot hard disk install C probe 1 enter. Okay, now reboot. Okay, so we printed woohoo 3 times. So now you know what we're going to do? We're going to do make distro. Okay, so this comes on the distro. This will make your own ISO file. I made my own ISO file creator. Everything is on this. This distribution is only 1.6 megs, and it has all the utilities. Okay, so we made we just made an ISO file. It's bigger because it's not Red C. We went ahead and made ISO 9660. Where's the file? Where did it put the file? In the temp directory. My distro. Okay, so we exit. Now we mount virtual disk. We're going to mount the disk to get that ISO file out of there. We're going to mount to VM disk, and we're going to get VMware other BDMK, and we want the first partition. Normally we want the second, but on this one, but I put the normally I do all my operations on the second. The first is my primary. The reason is I have my FAT32 is doesn't do short names correctly. My FAT32 doesn't do short names, and so it will get corrupted if you access it from Linux. So what you do is you always use your D for transferring. I'm using my C right now, but that's I'm breaking the rule. So I'm going to go to temp and copy. I'm going to go ahead and put it into download. Now this is 9660. ISO 9660 is not as efficient. So now we what are we doing? Okay, we want to unmount. So we just made it's 100% open source, and you can even make your own distributions for the ISO files. So unmount, close. Now we're going to make a new virtual machine. Typical. We're going to use the downloads. We're going to use mydistro.iso. Other 64, other 2. That's fine. 8. No network, no sound card. Okay, so we're installing. Now the kernel for the live CD has, you see that it beeped? That's because we modified the kernel. Yes, yes, yes. I'm the smartest programmer. That's why God chose me to make his temple. This is 1.6 meg. It has a compiler, a kernel, graphics library, flight simulator, editor, grep, find. It'll make ISO files. It's 64-bit. It has an assembler, an unassembler, a debugger. So this is from our distribution. So it has a flight simulator. Let's see what's on here. It has a file manager, mount partition disks. It will partition disk. It has bootloaders, autocomplete. It has an editor that does trees, and you see these trees? This is the tree widget. Anyway, the God stuff. The graphics library with sprites and meshes. We have a sprite editor. Control, watch this. this is 1.6 meg, and we can come in here and Control R, make sprite. Let's make a mesh. Create 3D mesh. Let's do prism 25. This is a 3D mesh. And let's see. Okay, minus 25. Let's do color blue, prism 25. Okay, now let's exit and exit. Okay, so we made a sprite. Now let's print it to the command line. Sprite, Control R, pointer to sprite, number 1. Okay, let's see. And F5, okay. So let's repeat a couple times. Now let's do directory, do test. Look at that. Let's do directory. I'm the smartest programmer on earth. I was given divine intellect. Okay, beautiful. So, that's that. So, this is the this is alien technology. It's from God. So the nigger doesn't believe that. So let's look at this program here. So the nigger thinks that your immune system can control a 3 or 4 gigahertz clock. So this waits, gets the timestamp count, that's the gigahertz clock, and then it picks a word modulo the number of words, and here's my words. Okay, so we go F5. When we press a key, it reads, there's the clock. Fucking Frazier, goddamn. God, I hate fucking Frazier. Anyway. Frazier doesn't know what a random number is. He's a goddamn